Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review of Ladies Who List Atlanta, Season 1, Episode 7. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. This episode didn't really offer much. It seems like they are scrounging around to piece together some work so that we can see some real estate being shown. Okay, because I know in some interviews, Quiana was saying that, and it's looking like, okay, because this episode fell flat to me, but there were some key points. So, child, let's get into it. So they're still on the ranch, and Quiana and Robin, they're still going at it. Tiffany said that she understands where Robin is coming from, but when you're in a room with other women of childbearing age, you have to move with some decorum. Very well put, and I absolutely agree. You should consider how other people are going to feel. And this is the thing. Robin, I'm speaking directly to you, honey. You are not speaking to Quiana, but when you said people, it generalized all women. And let me just tell you something. Before I had kids, people would generalize me. You don't understand. You ain't a mom. Honey, I still have the same worries as you. This is what I used to think. You should have said, Cristal doesn't understand she doesn't have kids. Tailor it specifically to Cristal because it offended Quiana because she was going through something. Although she was being sensitive, it's because she was triggered, for lack of a better word, because of the fertility issues that she's going through. Quiana, if you don't want the helpers in your business, then how the helpers supposed to know they're offending you? Okay, this ain't making no sense. So while all this is going on, Tiana chimes in. And I'm like, oh, not Tiana piping up, honey, to give her opinion. So Robin said, you know, did I trigger Quiana? This is what she's saying in her confessional. She said, did I do it? No, not on purpose. But Quiana needs to tell her what's wrong so they can help her. Well, in this instance, it seems like Tiana was trying to diffuse the situation because she was like, what do you have us arguing about on this ranch, honey? We just got pushed around here on this pony. Please, y'all, get it together, okay? Get it together or leave it alone. Tiffany, in her confessional, she was trying to see where Quiana was coming from, extending her grace, but Quiana was on a 10 because she was like, y'all will not play in my face, honey. Y'all will not play with me. Not today and not tomorrow. Moving forward. Tiana said, basically, why are y'all arguing? Okay, this was light. She said, we're all still getting to know each other, so I'm not understanding it. So Tiffany is trying to state her case. Robin is upset about something. It's all got to do with this horse manure. That's what it is. Child, I can't even make sense of this. This is a fool, okay? That is point blank in the bottom line. This is a fool. It feels like for Quiana, it's 3 against 1, and it doesn't seem fair to her. Okay, but at the same time, Quiana, Robin wasn't speaking to you. And as I stated, Robin, you should have specifically said Cristal. You and Cristal getting on my nerves, honey. Y'all be causing problems where there are no problems. Cristal causing problems and she ain't even there. Moving forward. So Quiana is still pissed because Robin feels like she can say whatever she wants with no regards for anyone else's feelings, and they have no idea what someone is going through. How is that her fault? She has no idea what you're going through because you're not vocal about what you're going through. Okay. Tiffany is also trying to explain to Robin how Quiana might be feeling, but she ain't trying to hear her because, you know, it's Robin. So then in a confessional, Robin gonna say, Quiana feels threatened by anyone that looks better than her or that has the potential to outperform her. Robin, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Every last one. Let me just say this, and I said it last review. I have never seen a cast where every single one of the cast members serve besides this one. I cannot think back to a cast of women that I've been watching that have been an ensemble cast that each and every one of them serve, from the clothes to the confessionals to the hair to the makeup. Every last one of them serve. Honey, even the housewives get it wrong sometimes. Okay, every housewife on a franchise is not always going to serve, but everybody on here does. So I'm just confused as to what you're talking about. That's very childish. It's a very childish approach to this whole situation, and it has nothing to do with nothing. I'm pretty sure Quiana is not jealous of anyone in this sister circle. Girl, what are you talking about? It's a reach, honey. You're reaching. So Robin is getting hyped, saying that Quiana isn't correcting her. She's just giving her small opinion. So Quiana was like, you giving your small opinion. Okay, this is taking a turn, child. These two do not see it for each other at all, and it's all coming out. So Quiana is like, well, that's your opinion. So they going back and forth and forth and back. Tiana tries to pipe up yet again. She's like, I don't know the situation. I don't know if you can or if you can't. So now she mad. So Robin is like, well, I must have touched on something. Quiana was like, you ain't touched on nothing. Quiana, honey, pipe down. It's going to be okay. She was like, well, I didn't mean to do that. So then Tiffany goes, well, that's what I was going to say. So Quiana said, no, you don't say And I had to rewind it a few times to be sure who she was talking to. Because I'm like, is she talking to Robin? Is she talking to Tiffany? But I think she was speaking to Tiffany. That's what it looked like. I don't know. Y'all correct me down below if you know. Because when I watched it a few times, it felt like she was directing that towards Tiffany. But I'm not sure, child. Clearly, you can see that that's a touchy subject for her. So why are y'all talking about this? Just drop it. And it feels like everybody in the room, well, they're not in a room, but everybody on the outside, okay, in this little semicircle is saying, oh, I'm a mom, I'm a mom. And in Quiana's mind, she's feeling like, I want to be a mom. And they don't understand that because I haven't expressed that to them. So for me, this is feeling like an attack on my womanhood. And let me just tell you something. Women will police your womb, okay? Because before I had my son, girl, you going on 30 and you ain't had no babies. You sure ain't nothing wrong? No, nothing's wrong with me. Clearly, you can see that that's a touchy subject, honey. So just leave it alone, okay? Please just leave it alone. So Tiana is like, I'm trying to respect these people ranch, but y'all got me effed up. Ooh, child. Now, why are you mad? I was wondering, like, Tiana, why did you even say anything? Like, you should not have even inserted yourself in this foolishness. Honey, just let the heifers fuss until they get tired. So Robin is steady antagonizing the situation. Robin, hush, please. You're making it worse. So she turns around and Quiana is like, you can talk directly to me. And she's talking to Tiana. And she's like, I'm talking to you. She said, well, you turned around and walked away. Tiana said, I can tell you right now. Quiana said, I can tell you right now. She said, no, I can tell you right now that you're not my type. Okay, time out. Time out. Okay, honey. How did y'all start this? How did it get here? Like, I think Tiana was actually trying to help the situation, but it just made it worse. Quiana said, well, you ain't my type either. Baby, that made Tiana mad, honey. She rarely ever gets upset. And I don't know her personally, but I'm just saying she rarely ever gets upset up and through these episodes. Honey, she always sitting behind her desk trying to sell some real estate. So Robin is like, it's really out of character for Tiana to get upset. This is what she's saying in her confessional with her little villain outfit on. She's like, but, the Georgian housewife, but I want to see more. Baby, Robin loves mess, knowing full well she started all of this. So Quiana said, do you really think you're my type? She said, I didn't ask you. Quiana said, oh, okay, well, the feeling is mutual. So Tiana is like, in her confessional, the world that she lives in, it's not all about her. But with Quiana, she's a bit self-absorbed. So after that, baby, they ticked her off. She walked away because she finally had enough. She was like, listen, I had a free day. I'm finally kid free. And these heifers are fussing. And all I wanted this to do was be a happy day. But we can't never have an old happy day because the heifers is always fussing. In the next scene, Cristal and her dad are going to visit a development created by a black family. They're revitalizing the neighborhood. I know that's right, honey. Keep it over on this side. She's like, I just want to show him what I do as the #1 closing attorney. Child, I guess if you don't toot your own horn, no one else will. Toot toot. So then she starts blaming all of her bad habits on her being a Kimbro. She's like, yeah, I'm very direct, and that's because I'm a Kimbro. Girl, that condescending tone and the way you speak to people, you're blaming it on that? Oh, okay. I am excited to hear more about the developers, though. They basically put affordable homes in historically black neighborhoods, and I love to see it. She said there were 250 homes built, but then when she spoke to the developer, he said they only built 6. So, the math don't be mathing, honey, on these own shows. If it got anything to do with numbers, they gonna get it wrong if they don't do nothing else. But the homes are absolutely beautiful. Cristal is telling her dad about their first closing and how it was a proud moment and everybody came out and whatnot. Y'all know what? Cristal looks just like her daddy. Just like him. But you know what I do wish? I wish I would have seen more of this sort of thing, because I would like to know, like, how did they get started? Like, what does it take to duplicate that success? That's what I was watching this show for, because I thought they were really going to show me something. And I mean, it's still good. I connect with a lot of the ladies on this show, and I see myself in a few of them. So I connect to that, and I ain't going to sit here and lie like, girl, I don't want to see no drama. Honey, a pinch of drama and a pinch of success is a successful show. So I'm not going to say that I didn't want to see no drama, but not every single episode. I feel like we should have gotten more than this. Moving forward. In the next scene, Tiffany goes after Tiana, child. Tiana is pissed off. She did not like getting out of her character. She said, I've known Quiana for years, but there's also been a disconnect between the two of us. And I would have never guessed that. Because, I guess they haven't really just shared a space where we could see them interact. But judging from the previous episodes, I didn't foresee Tiana and Quiana, with their twin names, having a problem. I don't know, it just came out of nowhere for me. Outside, Robin is being Jackie Christie. I'm like, if Robin ain't the Jackie Christie of the bunch. So she's like, can I give you my take on you? Quiana was like, yeah, what is your take on me? She said, okay, so you're a phenomenal woman. Okay, however, your bedside manner could use a little buffing and polishing. She's like, I'm only saying that because mine required that too. Robin, you mean requires with an S, honey. We got work to do. We got work, baby. We still got work to do, Robin. Okay, talking about some required. Girl, requires. But what you're saying makes a lot of sense though. Quiana has to work on that. She was like, can you make one of your 40th wishes, to walk more in love and light? She's like, oh, I do that now. And if my light bothers anybody, then that's on them. Robin said, clearly you do. Quiana said, well, if my light irritates people, then like I said, that's on them. Quiana, I know you're talking in Instagram quotes right now and whatnot, but you just need to not be so defensive. What she's saying is actually correct. Just listen for just a minute. Robin said, is that what you think is happening right now? Quiana said, I didn't say that's what was happening. Robin said, okay, I didn't say you said that. See, you don't listen well because you're so quick with the comeback, and really it's half of one because you didn't hear the whole thing. I'm asking, do you feel like that's how she's feeling? Quiana must have had to defend herself a lot growing up because she listens quickly to hurry up and respond. And I know that because I used to be that way. Like, I had been through so much that I would jump to the defense real quick. Like, as soon as you said something to me, I'd be like, and what are you trying to say? Because I've always had to defend myself. So maybe that's what she's experiencing. So they're talking about how Tiana maybe feels, but they aren't getting anywhere, honey. They're going in circles. So then Quiana tells Robin, I'm not about to say anything about how somebody feels. They need to say how the hell they feel. But when you say it, don't backpedal and pee-pop and act like you didn't say it. Here go Robin. What's pee-pop? How you do that? Robin, go away. Just go away, child. Robin is really in her own world. Girl, that conversation you were having started all of this. So now you sitting up here acting like you didn't do that. So she said, look, I can respect you saying it, but don't act like you didn't say it. I don't connect to that. I stand on what I say. Basically, honey, she's staying 10 toes down. She said, I stood on what I said to you. Here go Robin. What? What? Girl, when she told you to stop talking about people without children. Oh my God, honey, they don't even know what they're arguing about at this point. This is getting on my nerves. So Quiana says she doesn't change the way she feels about anybody. She don't care what's happening. So then in her confessional, Quiana was like, Robin is Robin, but at least I know where I stand with her, so I can respect that. But I don't have any clue where the hell Tiana came from and why this had anything to do with her. So then she said, Tiana wants to be in my space and have some type of problem with me because I'm interesting. And I'm sorry that you're not. Okay. So now it's giving some legs to what Robin had to say. Quiana, that makes absolutely no sense. Now, why you got to say all that about Tiana? She is not your cup of tea, nor are you hers. But you don't have to cut her down by saying you're more interesting than she is. I hate when women do stuff like that. I do not like that at all. Meanwhile, Tiffany and Tiana, they're having a very different conversation outside. She's like, I'm very happy that they came, and I would just love to end the night on a great note. So Tiffany was like, okay, girl, well, let me go see if I can rally these heifers and we can salvage this. Okay, she didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. Putting a little zhuzh on it. Y'all know how I like to do. So Tiffany runs into the ladies and told them to come back so they can have some champs and they can talk it out. So Quiana was like, you know what? I could use a little champagne for my troubles. So they come on in and they have a conversation. They come, they take a seat. Tiana tells them that she's sorry for walking off like that. She just expected a very different outcome for the evening's festivities. They should have just kept the day light and fun instead of talking about all this other stuff. It makes absolutely no sense. Yes, that conversation should have never, ever taken place. So then Quiana finally admits in her confessional that she was projecting. And she's just fearful of turning 40. And, she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to conceive. And even though what they said wasn't right, I still can see that I was projecting. And she's very big on emotional intelligence. Okay, let me just say this. I appreciate you being able to recognize what set you off and how what you're dealing with has affected the way that you respond. I thought that was great because I'm going to tell y'all straight up. Turning 40 is scary. I'm sitting here counting down the days like, oh my gosh, Like, I hope it don't be no BS. Okay, I hope my knees still can do what my knees can do, honey. It's just a lot. My nerves bad, but guess what? It's gonna be okay. 40 is the new whatever you want it to be. Okay, you know how they be like 30 is the new 20 and 20 is the new 40. 40 is the new whatever number you want it to be. You're only as young as you feel. And I know that might sound cliche, but that's the real. If you feel young, then you are young, honey. Go set yourself off. It's the anxiety of turning 40, wanting a baby. It's a lot. So she just had some misdirected anger. They have a toast, and Tiana explains where she's coming from and how she doesn't want them to take it as a super jab. And Quiana was like, I didn't take it like that, but I just expected more coming from you. You know, it's always been something between us, but I don't really know what the something is. So basically, all the help us work it out. Robin starts to express how she had to come to terms with being vulnerable because for the longest, you know, she would try to be tough. But they're ladies, so, you know, things happen. Tiffany said, oh, okay. Well, that brings me to why I'm not taking any applications for new friends. I've had friends that support my marriage. I have friends that support me in business. I have friends that support me individually. That's all I need. I'm not looking for new friends. Like, if we vibe, then we vibe. But I'm not just going out and trying to find friends. Now, as far as me and Cristal, we've been in several different settings together and we have just never vibed. It doesn't mean there's a problem. It just means there's no connection. I understand this. All people ain't your people. Okay, I definitely understand. What is wrong with just being where you are? Everybody is not going to be friends. We're taught that in school. Everybody's not going to get along. Two things can be true. I can be cordial and not kiki with you. And we can be in a room and there be no problems. Cristal is used to being a social butterfly that makes a lot of meaningless connections. I think that's what it is. But as I was watching this, I was like, they done got Tiffany all hype. But in all honesty, Cristal didn't even ask for a friendship with Tiffany. Robin started asking about where they stood, which had both of them wondering if they had an issue. Did y'all realize that? I'm like, the heifers is fussing, but they really aren't even asking to be each other's friends. Robin is trying to figure out if there's an issue between the two of them. Now, maybe this is something that happened off camera and we weren't privy to this, but it just didn't make any sense. In the next scene, Kira goes to one of her clients' beautiful estates. Hey, Kira girl, we ain't seen you too much this episode. So it's her client's closing and their daughter's first birthday. Okay, first, what do your clients do? Because, baby, this place is beautiful. So please put me up on game. That's number one, because that's what I'm striving for. Number two, Kira and Tiffany are going to create a closing experience if they don't do nothing else. I love that level of extra care. Like, half of these agents, they just want the closing. They could care less about the clients. They could care less about the 1-year-old's birthday. They don't care if you're pregnant, honey. They don't care if you're stuck in traffic. Please just sign on the dotted line so I can get my check. That's all I care about. But the fact that they're creating experiences, I love it. The home is $1.8 million. It boasts 6 bedrooms and 7 baths, and it's 6,054 square feet. Baby, get into it. Okay, do you hear me? Get into it if we're going to get into it. So they get in, they start setting up for the little mini birthday party for Kennedy. So the family arrives, and Kira tells us that her client Laquan was shot 15 times while being robbed. Wow. Well, let me just say this. God wanted you to be here, because that is a miracle that you survived that. Like, people don't survive one shot. 15? She said he overcame so many obstacles, and it's, a miracle that he's even walking. Yes, defying the odds. Very admirable. And the fact that you are closing on a property of this caliber and you're a black person, if that ain't inspiration, I don't know what is. So they signed and the house is theirs. And Kira said, sitting in their dream home, it made her think of hers. And, her house burned down. We saw that in a previous episode. And although it's gone, she said, you can't replace people. And that is absolutely the truth. In the next scene, we check in with Quiana, and she's going to meet with the developer, and he shows her around one of his developments. So after viewing it, she tells him that after she did a little bit of research, she feels that they should put the price point at $550,000 and up. So he tells her that the cost of lumber has gone up, so they need to recoup those costs. And they were thinking more in the 600s, okay, since neighboring developments are selling for $700,000 to $800,000. And they don't have nearly as much square footage or amenities. So Quiana said, oh, okay, honey, don't threaten her with a good time. She said, okay, so we can do the end units at $675 and then the interior at $650. Real estate is so satisfying to watch. I love learning about the comps and also viewing the properties. But these numbers, baby, that was a jackpot. I saw dollar signs all in Quiana's eyes. Do y'all hear me? So she closes the deal and she's very pleased and she's super excited. Honey, I would be too, because that's major. And we're moving on. In the next scene, we're on to another closing. Cristal said, here we are at closing day. And it's not often that Cristal Kimbrough comes out to your closing. So she's closing on a $3 million fixer-upper. It's valued at $3 million, but after putting in about $1 million, and after repair value, it's going to be well worth $5 million. So was this a foreclosure? I wonder. I've considered a foreclosure to get more bang for my buck, but I don't exactly know. So Cristal looks down at her phone and she's like, why isn't my phone ringing? Girl, well, is the ringer on? Child, it's a mess. On the other end of the phone was Quiana, and she's calling to talk about her party. Quiana said her 40th birthday party is a huge deal, honey. Wardrobe changes, wig changes, and all kinds of changes. I know that's right, honey. She's telling her about the details of it all. And Cristal is like, well, I'm looking forward to it, but not the energy of your girl. What energy? What energy are you talking about? Last time y'all were in a space together, y'all were fine. You're just mad because she friends with Robin, and that's that on that. So she said, everybody can feel the tension when they're out together and when they're around each other. So Quiana tells Cristal that she's inviting all the girls. And Cristal said, well, I don't have a problem with Tiffany. I've just never had a conversation with her. But for some reason, there's something there and I'm not sure what it is. I get so confused at this non-conversation that they've ever had. But asking her for her workload when she's postpartum, somebody lying. Okay? I don't know exactly what's happening, but she's saying she never had a conversation with her, but you had enough of a conversation to ask her to take over her workload. I don't know. So in the confessional, but wait a minute, let's pause for a minute. Cristal may get on my central nervous system, but baby, this heifer is stunning. Do y'all hear me? This confessional look with that pink, that is a moment. I love it. And baby, that beautiful skin of hers, Cristal's skin is sickening. It really is. It is sickening. Oh my gosh. I just loved it, baby. That top knot and that pink. Oh, it was just giving me everything, honey. That's just a side note. Child, I had to talk about it, honey, because every now and again, they're going to show up in a confessional and make you pause for the cause. And that was mine for this episode. So she said the deal is, I'm going to talk to Tiffany if Rob goes to the poly party. And I'm going to do anything to get Robin around a bunch of poly people. Girl, we still talking about that? Oh, child, let's move on. Moving forward. It's a TW event, y'all, for Quiana's 40th birthday party. It's a Met Gala theme. Listen, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but I, too, will be this extra for my 40th. Honey, I wanted to, but then the variant came in and derailed all my plans. And the way my anxiety is set up, I ain't gonna be able to do it. Honey, people breathing in my same space, and I ain't been breathed on in a few years, and I'm not gonna be able to do that. But I love it for Quiana. Moving forward. Tori Williams gonna put on an event if she don't do nothing else, honey. Tori will put on an event, hunty. And I noticed they're doing it at her place. So the party is underway. Everybody dancing, having a good old time. Drinks are flowing. I wasn't feeling the queen of the night look that Quiana had going on with the headpiece of it all. I just wasn't. Her body is sickening in that dress. I love the dress and everything. It's just the earrings with the headpiece with it was giving too much. It just didn't do it for me. So Quiana is introducing the ladies to her family and her mom, her siblings, all of that. And Kira and TNT go out to catch some fresh air. And so the other ladies come out. So everybody's making a little small talk, talking about absolutely nothing. Then in true Kira fashion, she's looking for the food. I know that's right, y'all. The nourishment. Kira was like, did y'all eat yet? I know that's right, Kira. Kira is me. I'm going to find me a plate, but we all know it's so Tiffany and Cristal can talk, y'all. It's production set up. Because I was sitting here thinking, okay, so all y'all hungry at the same time? Girl, goodbye. So they leave. Tiffany and Cristal, they talking. Tiffany brings up the fact that Robin said that they made up. And Cristal is like, yeah, we're very good friends. If everything is always good and the relationship has never been tried, like, how do you know you're a good friend? Because the relationship has never been tried. Girl, I don't know about all that. Okay, I feel like you can be friends to me and we never have to get into anything like heavy. Of course, there are going to be, disagreements, but not with us getting physical or putting each other down and triggering each other for no reason. Not that kind of stuff. But I can kind of see what you mean, but I don't think you have to go through turmoil to make sure that your friendships are solid. Sounds like toxicity to me. So Tiffany said, I don't go through the ebbs and flows of my friendships. I'm very cautious of who I have around me. And when I'm friends with somebody, that means I can be my authentic self, let my hair down, and we good. So Cristal was like, oh, okay, well, I'm so glad that your relationships are perfect. Girl. So Cristal said, look, the reality is my friendship goes up and down, but anyway, we're good. Okay, we're fine. Rob's like my sister. Who you trying to convince? You're really trying to send Tiffany a message that you and your friend are on good terms. And you're trying to say that because of what Quiana told you that Tiffany said about being triggered and questioning the way you handled that situation that night. But girl, go on, proceed and set yourself off. So Cristal is like, look, this is the first time we've actually had a conversation. Tiffany said, no, we've talked before, but I'm just an energy person. And if I don't feel it, then I'm not going to exert that energy. She's like, I'm not the kind of person that walks in the room and feels the need to just be friends with everybody. So Cristal said, hold up. Okay, I'm very direct. Are you speaking to me? Listen to that. I'm very direct. So Tiffany said, I don't want to talk to everybody in the industry. There's a lot of people in the industry. Cristal said, you don't find that odd? No, girl. Y'all are two different kinds of women. She's more reserved and keeps a more close-knit crew. Cristal is more of a socialite type. Cristal is one of those people that knows everybody and nobody at the same time. Like she has 1,000,001 associates. Quite frankly, y'all remember the episode where Cristal looked at her and said, I do know you from somewhere, right? Do I know you from somewhere? And they had sat down and broken bread together. So that just shows me that Cristal just gets in spaces and picks up people. Like everybody doesn't do that. Some people just don't mesh well with others, and that is okay. So Cristal said, I just find it odd that I'm a top closing attorney, you're a top closing attorney, and we've never had a conversation. She said, it kind of sounds like you're saying, I give you what you give me. That is what she said. Tiffany said, I don't think about it. I don't think about the industry the same way you do. Like, I like building relationships that are easy. Bottom line, y'all are colleagues, nothing more, nothing less. Everyone does not have to be a friend. So I'll call you my best friend. Everybody don't have to be Brandy. Y'all don't have to. I want to be down. I know you want to be down, Cristal, but everybody does not have to be a friend. She's been around you and y'all have not meshed, so just keep it as it is. Y'all are being cordial. You can be in the same spaces and there's no problems. So Cristal tells Tiffany that she always felt like Tiffany was not friendly. So then in a confessional, Tiffany said, I don't understand this. Like, we speak to each other. We've been in places, but never once has Cristal said, why aren't you my friend? So now she's saying it and it doesn't feel genuine. And she's wondering if she wants to connect to her because she's connected to Robin now and they're cool. That's exactly why it is. Child, keep your enemies closer is what she's trying to do. She's like, I just thought that was odd because, you're super friendly to a real estate agent or something like that. You mean Robin? Girl, didn't you just say that you were direct? Say it with your chest. Remember, you're direct. So then Cristal was like, maybe you didn't feel like you needed to get to know me because I'm another closing attorney. So are you saying she only wants beneficial friends that can bring her business? Because that sounds like what you're trying to say. So in the confessional, Tiffany said, why is Cristal so stuck on being my friend? Like it's giving stranger danger scary. Not stranger danger. Girl, goodbye. Not stranger danger. Child, I'm done with y'all. So she was like, it's just funny that you say you want to build businesses and whatnot and black girl magic this. But Kira told me that you were basically wooing her knowing that she's one of my biggest clients and we do business together. She said when you and Robin had your little ebb and flow in your relationship and whatnot, she came to me and said she was ready to give me all of her business. But guess what? I do not operate like that. Ooh, child. These girls ain't loyal. Shout out to Lil Wayne and C Breezy. Not Robin ready to risk it all. Moving forward. She said, that's not how I roll. I don't need Robin's business. So, in true Cristal fashion, she's not going to talk about what's being talked about. Cristal said, I just wanted to have a conversation. Well, isn't this a conversation, girl? What are you talking about? You just don't want to talk about you trying to snake Kira's business from Tiffany. That's what you don't want to talk about. She's like, what are you talking about? We're conversing right now. She's like, okay, go ahead and converse. So then Tiffany said, listen, with my friends, I'm able to point out inconsistencies in their stories. And she ignored me and she wants to move on instead of dealing with what she did. Cristal feels like Tiffany is gaslighting her. Tiffany feels like Cristal only wants to be friends because now she cool with Robin. Child, this is a whole fool. Cristal said, okay, well, I applaud you. I just don't want to build businesses. Tiffany said, oh, because I would never. Baby, the heifers is arguing back and forth. So Cristal said, listen, under normal circumstances, I would be able to remove myself from a situation, but because of this whole thing, I'm not able to do that. And I just don't feel like you've been welcoming. Tiffany has discernment. Your spirit don't sit right with me through the TV. So I know if I had to sit with you, I would not want to do that. Your energy is just off. It's something that is off-putting about you. And she just doesn't want to be in your space like that. And that is okay. Tiffany said, well, do you expect me to like you? Like, why do you have expectations of strangers? We don't know each other. Basically, she's saying, I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. That's what it's giving me. Cristal wants to be more than cordial. And she's like, it's because we're two black closing attorneys, but, I see the type of game that you want to play. And she's like, so I tried, and this is me not trying. So then she gets up and leaves. Tiffany said, our energies just don't align, and that is okay. So then Tiana shows back up just in the nick of time with a bite of food. Girl, where is the nourishment? Tiana, you have been gone for 45 hours, and you going to come back with this little bitty bite? Girl, I'm not about to play with you. I was like, where's the food at? Tiffany is like, girl, your friend is weird AF. Here go Tiana. Girl, what happened? Y'all know y'all was listening, child. Inside, Cristal is telling Robin it's just what she thought, a whole lot of pretending. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So Robin said, well, do you believe her? She said, I really don't care anymore. I really don't care at this point. Outside, Tiffany is like, girl, I don't care nothing about this. I'm not giving this any more energy. Let's go have a good time. Cristal is on the inside like, let's go party. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. They all get up and they take themselves onto the dance floor. So I take it that these two will not be friends anytime soon. And that was the end of the episode. In a nutshell, Cristal wants to keep Tiffany close because she knows that her and Robin are close, and she want to keep that business in her pocket. She don't care nothing about being friends with Tiffany. Tiffany is closed off because of the way she saw Cristal and Robin interact. And Quiana, I wish you all the best. And Tiana, girl, don't be fussing. And that is that on that. Oh, and Kira, excellent closing. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I thought it was It was kind of blah. I feel like they deserve more than that, but honey, who am I to say? Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.